Yo, what's good? Nigga, salute. Had to go for a walk. Just got back from the gym. It's part of my little post-workout. But yo, check this out. So, wanted to talk about this. So I'm gonna go ahead and talk about this. Salute, salute, salute. Shout out to y'all. So yeah, I want to talk about this, Let me say this first though. I understand what he said was kind of weird, but Teofimo Lopez, in my opinion, is a great fighter. I don't really got nothing bad to say about him as a boxer. Everything is good from that point of view, so we straight. But regarding what he said in the interview that went viral about the black effect and black fighters this, black fighters that, and all that, the whole nine, it basically just proves what I've been trying to tell y'all. I've done videos talking about this, y'all know. And it's funny though how I'll say some shit, right? And people would get mad. Some people would get mad. And then the shit that I said, the shit that I'm talking about, it will pop up in other media, like this interview he did where he said that. Like I told y'all, when it comes to boxing, right? And this is actually in real life also. But I told y'all in boxing, salute to everybody. I told y'all in boxing, the Latino boxing fans and just Latinos in general that cover boxing, they don't really got nothing to say unless they're talking about black fighters. If they're not talking about black fighters or black people, they got nothing to say. And that this is more proof of that. I've been telling y'all that. Like these guys claim they're fans, they love the sport, they say that, but they don't really chop up real boxing game. It's just find ways to say something negative about black fighters over and over and over again. That's literally all they got to say. And this proof of that. Like out of all the things Tio could have been talking about, he says that bullshit, And then it comes off like you're jealous. Like black fighters display excellence in the ring. We win in fights. We undefeated, a lot of us. Because apparently when you're a black fighter and when you're undefeated, that's worthy of criticism, Because if you guys notice, only black fighters that are undefeated get criticized for being undefeated. All these non-black fighters that's undefeated, if you guys are paying attention, nobody criticizes that. But they will criticize your black ass if you're an undefeated fighter. Apparently you did something wrong, or you gotta, basically you gotta fight Godzilla and shit. You don't beat up Godzilla, then you ain't fought nobody. That's basically what they're saying. But it proves my point though. It's like, no disrespect, but we keeping it real. The Latinos, they don't really got nothing to say unless they talking about blacks, bro. Like, they're keeping it real. Like, you pay attention to what goes on. Nobody really pays attention to Latino people except other Latinos. We just gonna keep it real. See, the Latinos, they know that. So what they do is, let's talk about black people, because everybody is going to get attention if you talk about black people. And that's what everybody's doing. And so what T.O. did, it proves my point. I had to speak on this. I was going to ignore this because I knew it was cap, but I was like, you know what? That actually proves one of my talking points, that Latinos don't really have nothing to say, especially in boxing, unless they can talk about somebody black. And this is proof. Why the fuck's he saying that? See, black people, we live in Latinos' heads rent-free when it comes to boxing. I'm telling y'all, I've been paying attention. I am not no slow nigga. I comprehend very well. And I've been paying attention. And what I've noticed, when it comes to talking about boxing, the Latino fans, they say they're fans, so let's give them the respect and say they're fans. They honestly do not have nothing to talk about unless they can criticize black fighters. If they can't criticize black fighters or find something negative to say about black fighters, they don't have nothing to say. If you ask, because you look at all these content creators that are Latinos, because most of them are Latino guys. Every show they do, they're always talking about black fighters. They got their own culture of fighters, but yet they rather focus on black fighters. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, if they're not talking about black fighters, they got nothing to say. We just got to keep it real. Me personally, I'm not even really mad at it. I just find it strange. It's just strange behavior to me, you know, because I'm telling you guys, bro, it's like they got a mouthful of anti-black rhetoric every time they talk about boxing. And then when they're not talking about that, there's nothing to say. Look at y'all boy IBFP. He literally cannot do videos without talking about black fighters in a negative light. You know, that nigga IBFP got mental issues. You know, he was dropped on, I don't know, I think his mom, I think he's a crack baby or something. But nigga got mental issues. Because every time he go live, it's like every time he do a video, put something out, it's always find some negative rhetoric about black fighters over and over and over again. He cannot do content without talking about that shit. And we know his bitch ass is a Latino dude, you know. But it just proves my point. These guys don't have no content unless they can throw blacks in it. Ask these guys to do content talking about other Latino people or just non-black people in general. Watch that shit flop. That shit gonna flop. Ain't nobody listening to that bullshit. Who the fuck would listen to IBFP talk about boxing if he's not talking about black fighters? Nobody. And that's for any other motherfucker that's Latino that covers boxing. BDA, all these clowns. Talk about non-black fighters. There's other fighters that ain't black. Let's talk about them. Watch they shit flop. Watch nobody listen to that bullshit. Watch their engagements go down. Watch niggas not send super chats. I promise you that. And see, these motherfuckers know that. So they keep doing that same bullshit over and over again. Let's hate on Terrence Crawford. Let's hate on Devin Haney. Let's hate on Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is half Latino and he's half black. And they still hate on that nigga like he's fully black. That's why I laugh when I hear a goofy motherfucker say, oh, but Shakur's Latino though. Nah, bruh. Y'all was rooting for T.O. to beat him like Shakur was full black. I ain't giving y'all that. I ain't giving y'all that. You dig? Y'all got nothing to talk about unless just find a way to hate on black fighters. And T.O. just reinforced that. And he's a pro boxer doing that bullshit. This nigga's a pro boxer doing that. That's what kind of makes it weird. You would think he would embrace the black side and just keep it moving and everything is good and everybody's happy. But nah, he'd rather say some stupid shit like that, knowing it's going to get attention, because that's the only way these guys can get our attention, by saying some bullshit. Because I'm telling you right now, bro, and this ain't no hate. This ain't no diss towards Latinos. It's just the truth. This is real life shit. In real life, nobody really pays attention to Latinos outside of other Latinos. That doesn't mean it's not a bad thing. It's just the facts. Everybody pays attention to blacks. When you're a black man, everybody's paying attention to you no matter what you do. Everybody's jocking you. Everybody's stealing your slang. Everybody wants to be like you. It's just the facts. It's not a diss. You just got to keep it real. I know some people don't want to hear this. I know some Latins are listening and they're mad, but it's the truth. You dig? Y'all clout chase black people to get attention. And then y'all act stupid when y'all get put on blast for it. Y'all ain't dumb. Y'all know what y'all doing. You dig? Y'all know what y'all doing. Talk all that shit, but yet you need blacks to get your content to go. You need blacks to get attention, but you got all this anti-black shit to say. I feel like if Latinos were more like, you know what, let's embrace blacks instead of being on that anti shit. I feel like that shit, I honestly feel like everybody would be happier. You know what I mean? I honestly feel like everybody would be happier if that happened. Instead of all this, let's just go out our way to say some negative shit about a black guy over and over again. Terrence Crawford beat Canelo, so fuck Terrence Crawford. You know, crazy shit like that. The only people that saying shit like that is Latino people. Nobody in their right mind is saying no dumb shit like that. How the fuck you mad because Crawford beat Canelo? That shit shouldn't make you mad like that. This nigga IBFP doing 100 videos every week talking about, oh, Crawford was a weight bully. He did this. All because he's mad because Canelo lost to him. What type of bitch ass shit is that? Then you ain't even thorough. Rest in peace, Prodigy for Mobb Deep. This nigga don't even keep it thorough. This nigga deleting videos and shit where he was giving Crawford credit. What type of bitch ass shit is that? That's like me deleting videos when I was talking about black women. Nah, I stand on what I say. I ain't no fake nigga like that. This nigga fake. You ain't thorough, bro. You disrespect Onslaught, but nigga, you the real dick sucker, not Onslaught. Onslaught straight. He ain't no dick sucker. IBFP's a dick sucker. He's a lame, bro. I gotta dish your ass every now and then. You know? I don't pay attention to you for real, but I gotta dish you because you be on some sucker shit. Gotta dish your monkey ass. You lame, bro. Niggas is not thorough, bro. Y'all be clout chasing black people, but at the same time got something negative to say about black people. It just is what it is. Look at Ryan Garcia. He's all on YouTube doing content with black YouTubers. You know why? Do you know why Ryan Garcia is doing that? He's doing it because he knows if he were to do content with other Latinos, nobody would pay attention to that shit. Nobody would give a fuck. But if you do some shit with black people, everybody's going to pay attention because everybody jocks black people. Everybody's watching you when you're black. Everybody's on your dick when you're black. You're just going to keep it real. Everybody's watching. You dig? It's just the facts. I go on this fucking YouTube. I look. This nigga Ryan Garcia doing videos with these black streamers. Like, and then Ryan Garcia, I don't know if he's racist for real, but he made comments that would make you think he is. Like that shit he said about George Floyd. Like, why the fuck's he saying some shit like that? But he's working with blacks on the YouTube thing because he knows he's going to get attention doing that. He was getting a hella views when he was doing that dumb shit with the ratchet ass black bitch, Christian Rock. He was doing, like, why the fuck is a Mexican doing shit with a ratchet black bitch? He's doing it for views because he knows he's going to get attention. And that's what the Latinos do, bro. They clout chase blacks, but at the same time, talk shit about blacks. That's what these motherfuckers be doing, bro. This nigga T.O. get beat by Shakur Stevenson. And in a bizarre turn of events, instead of talking about the fight, he's making statements where he's apologizing for slavery. Why the fuck is a Hispanic person apologizing for slavery? Does that make sense to anybody? I told you, bro. We live rent-free in their head, bro, no matter what we do. We ain't even got to diss Latino people. All we got to do is just show up and they're going to be on bullshit with us. You dig? See, a lot of this boxing shit spills into real life because I'm telling y'all, in real life, keeping it real, nobody really is paying attention to Latino people except other Latino people. Outside of that, nobody pays attention to Latino people. Everybody's just living their life, but everybody's paying attention to black people. You dig? That's just facts. It spills into boxing. Black fighters are not every chance they get going out the way to say something negative about a black fighter. Like, take Terrence Crawford, for example. He's done interviews since he beat Canelo. You don't hear him saying you don't hear him going out his way to say something negative about Canelo. You don't really hear him saying that. You know what I'm saying? And Canelo fans, they can't give that same respect. They can't even give that same respect. You know, all because he beat him. You know what I'm saying? Nah, Mexican pussy is great. Because the thing about Mexicans and Latinos, the women are actually cool. It's the Latino men that be on that bullshit. The women are actually straight. If you ever meet a Latino woman that's on bullshit with you, most likely she got negatively influenced by the men in her family. Like her dad was probably telling her whole life, oh, don't fuck with a black dude, her brothers and uncles and shit like that. So she's on bullshit. But if you get a Latin chick that ain't on that, you'll find out, like, hey, these Latin chicks is cool. They don't even be tripping off that. See, a lot of the Latin dudes, they mad at the black dudes because the Latin chicks, they want to give the black dude some pussy. So the Latin guy, he's mad. He's going around saying fuck niggas, all because the Latin chick want to fuck a black dude. Because I know Latin girls that say they don't even like Latin dudes. They rather fuck with black dudes. Latin dudes be mad as hell. Mad as a motherfucker. The motherfucker wanted to call the cartel on your ass. Smashing on a Mexican bitch? Shit. I've done it multiple times, and I'm telling you right now, a lot of the time, not all the time, I'm not gonna lie and say a lot of the times, but you know, Mexicans, you know how girls like to talk. You know how girls like to talk. I'll leave it at that. But it is what it is, man. But like I said, man, we live rent free in their head, bro. And I don't know why. You know, I don't know why. IBFP says people have Canelo derangement syndrome. Why would we have that when Crawford beat their boy? That's a fact. You 1000% right. It's the same thing that one dude said a while ago. I remember this like yesterday. He said that blacks are jealous of a Mexican guy being the face of boxing. That's ridiculous because it's like, nigga, that Mexican guy that's the face of boxing, he suffered his first loss to a black fighter and he got beat by another black fighter. So it's like, knowing this, why would we be jealous? Even if that didn't happen, we still wouldn't be jealous. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm telling you guys right now, bro, I know you guys don't want to believe this, but it's true. Black people, we're not worried about Mexican people like that, bro. We're not thinking about Latins and Mexicans like that. I'm telling y'all, bro. It's the other way around. We're not doing that shit. I'm telling you guys, whether it's real life or a nigga as a boxer, we're not sitting around thinking about Latinos, bro. I'm telling you. We're not doing that shit. It's the other way around. It's just facts. It's no disrespect. It's just the truth. We're not doing that shit. I got a boxing show I do, right? I put out boxing content. I talk straight boxing on there. I'm not on there doing videos where I'm just finding ways to say something negative about Latino fighters. But you see Latino guys doing that. So it's the other way around. We're not worried about Latinos like that. No disrespect. It's not even like that. We be doing our own thing. We don't be tripping off that shit. You know, ain't nobody sweating ain't nobody black sweating Latinos like that. We ain't even on that. We doing our own thing. That's just real. You said, if anything, they have Crawford and Mayweather derangement syndrome, Solidus. That's a fact. See, everything you be saying is facts. That's a fact. Because like I said, every time I look up, and if I do decide to pay attention to it, when I rarely do, it's always some anti-Crawford shit and some anti-Mayweather shit or any other black fighter or a Tank or somebody. It's always somebody black. You know? That's a fact. So if anything, you actually kind of gave me an idea. I should do like a troll video about people that got black fighter derangement syndrome. I should do something like that. Yeah, I should do some shit like that. But yeah, that's a fact, man. That's all it is, man. He asked this man about boxing. This nigga T.O. said in the interview, he said it's the black effect. Black fighters this, black fighters that. So let me get this straight. So if you are a black fighter and if you're good enough to be undefeated, that's a problem. Because that's basically what the Latino fans are saying. If you are a great fighter and you're able to get in the ring, they put somebody in the ring with you, you beat them, right? Whoever you're fighting, you beat them, and you're undefeated. So that's a problem. So you have to lose for somebody to respect you. That's what they're saying. That makes absolutely no sense. That just sounds like some hating shit. You want to see niggas lose, so you're saying all this salty ass shit. Now that's some bullshit. That don't make any sense. These niggas got a million excuses, a million nitpicks they want to pull just because they don't like a guy. And it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. Shit is crazy, bro. I don't understand this boxing shit. I don't understand this shit at all. So, I mean, and then it's like, how high is your boxing IQ, or how knowledgeable of a boxing fan are you if you didn't know that Crawford was better than Canelo, do you truly have boxing knowledge? That's the question I want to ask. If you didn't know that and you say you're a boxing fan, your boxing pass might have to get revoked. I don't know if I can give you that. Because everybody with a brain should have known that. So him beating Canelo shouldn't have been a surprise. All you Canelo fans out there that's mad, shouldn't surprise y'all. Canelo ain't got no educated jab like that. Y'all know that. Fuck is y'all talking about? Yeah, they definitely be hating on David Benavidez. But like I said, that's some more bitch shit. Because again, they don't like David Benavidez, as we all know, because he's a Canelo op. That's all that is. He was a threat to Canelo. They were scared to death that if he fought, he would have beat Canelo. Terrified of that idea. Because if they were to fight, there was a good chance he would have watched Canelo. All the Canelo fans were scared to death. So they don't like Benavidez for that reason. You know what I'm saying? Shit is wild, bro. Canelo, a grown ass man, he can handle it if he to get beat by Benavidez. These niggas scared for Canelo. Because me personally, I've said it before, I'm on record. I honestly believe if they would have fought back in like 2022, 2023, I honestly believe Benavidez would have won, me personally. Because that was the best time for them to fight, and they didn't fight. Me personally, I favor Benavidez to win. I think he would have beat him. Like straight up. And like I said, all the Canelo fans are scared. They're terrified of that idea. So because of that, they hate Benavidez. They're praying right now, hoping that he loses Zurdo. Because you know what's going to happen if he beats Zurdo, y'all. Y'all know what's going to happen, right? He beats Zurdo, y'all know what's going to happen. They're just going to make excuses, find ways to not give him credit. You know, that bitch shit. You know, y'all know that. I know y'all know that. I know y'all already know that. He beat Zurdo, which is probably likely. They're just going to be capping. Don't want to give him excuses. All of a sudden, Zurdo's a bum. All type of bullshit. You know how they get down. Ain't nobody going to keep that shit real. Ain't nobody going to keep that shit real. And that fight's coming up quick, too. It ain't that far off. So we going to find out. That's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, he was talking about going to fight that African dude, Makabu. Yeah, that's a fact. That's facts. Yeah, and Badu Jack. Yeah, that's facts. Exactly. And then that fight didn't happen. That's a fact. 1,000%. I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, that's facts. So yeah, man, that's all, man. These niggas is crazy, man. It's a lot of bullshit going on, man. But like I said, man, we live rent free in their head, man. They ain't got no content unless they're talking about us. If the Latinos ain't talking about us, they ain't got no content. They got zero content. They got zero content. Nigga, you better talk about us. Ain't nobody listening to your shit. I already did the homework on the whole thing, bro. Nobody listens to IBFP and these other guys that do content that are Latinos if they're not talking about blacks. Nobody listens to that shit, bro. Nobody. If they're not on there talking anti-black rhetoric, nobody's going to listen to that bullshit. That's a fact. Nobody. All these lames, IBFP, BDA, and a few others. All lames. They ain't talking about niggas. Ain't nobody listening to that shit. Nobody want to hear you lames talk about your own fighters. Nobody want to hear that shit. Nigga, you better talk about black fighters. You better talk about Tank. You better talk about Shakur. You better talk about Devin. You better talk about Terrence Crawford. You better keep hating on Mayweather. Because if you don't do those things, ain't nobody listening to your bullshit. Ain't nobody listening to that shit. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to even if Bud is bigger, it's a skill issue. Bud is just better. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the better boxer. You know what I mean? Canelo is not technical like Crawford is. He doesn't think like Crawford does. He doesn't like he doesn't have this style where see Canelo got this style where if his plan A is not working, he doesn't have a plan B. He's kind of like, I'm just gonna do the same thing over and over and over and over again. Crawford is more versatile. He can actually think, okay, this ain't working, I'm gonna do this. This ain't working, I'm gonna do that. You know, he's more versatile. Crawford is not like that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like Crawford is he's not more talented fighter, better fighter, and the smarter fighter. Is what it is. You know. I be trying to hype your video, sir, but what YouTube won't let me. Yeah, I'm shadow banned. I'm shadow banned. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Much respect. But no, I'm shadow banned. They say I'm controversial because you know the videos I be doing about black women. You know, the thing about it is when you're honest, people are going to get mad. Now, if I was up here capping or if I was one of these lames or just saying bullshit and it's not true and I'm just a liar or whatever, then my shit would be popping. But I'm too honest. You know what I mean? And that shit would get you a shadow banned on YouTube. That's just how it go. You know? So yeah, my shit is shadow banned. I mean, it's available to listen to, but YouTube is it's not fucking with the content because it's too real. It's too real. It's too real. You gotta tone it down and be fake. You gotta basically sugarcoat shit. And that ain't my style. So and so yeah, so you know, a lot of that hating shit going on. It is what it is. Appreciate that though. Yeah, that's a fact. Solidus. Remember Canelo was talking about fighting Usyk at one point. Yeah, that was laughable. Canelo would never be on Crawford level. That's why he got mad and picked him up. That's a fact. Usyk would destroy Canelo. That's a fact. Inoue was smaller than Fulton and put him to sleep. That's a fact. All facts. You know that, and then the thing that's so weird is that's a great fight coming up. Nakatami and Inoue. They're not even talking about that. They would rather talk about Canelo beating Crawford 7 months ago than talk about this great fight we got coming up with Inoue and Nakatami. That's a great fight coming up. That's a great fight. I've talked about it. I'm gonna talk about it again. And in one of my newer videos, I ain't hear nobody talking about that for real, for real. They rather talk about Crawford and Canelo, a fight that happened 7 months ago. They'd rather talk about Devin Haney. He ain't fought since November. I can understand Shakur because he just fought recently. But it's like, you got this great fight coming up, and these motherfuckers ain't even talking about that shit. They rather talk about Terrence Crawford. Like, what the fuck type of shit is that? Like, are y'all boxing fans or y'all just on some bullshit? Which one is it? I always ask that question, never get an answer. Are y'all boxing fans or are y'all on bullshit? Which one is it? Sound like bullshit to me, but which one is it? That's the question I need to ask. I definitely can't wait to see that fight. That's going to be a hell of a fight. That's a great matchup. Japanese boxers kicking ass. I fuck with Japanese boxers. Big Japanese boxing fan. I be struggling to pronounce their names. I ain't going to lie to y'all, but I'm aware of the Japanese boxing scene, and there's some great talent over there. I'm a big fan, and this is going to be a great fight. I'm fucking with these dudes. Nakatami and Inoue, they getting busy. I got Inoue winning, but I think Nakatami's going to put up a great fight. This should be a great back and forth. Definitely looking forward to that. Ice guys, sorry if I missed it, but what were your thoughts on that Wilder Chisora fight? I thought it was respectable. Yeah, I agree. It was cool. You know, it was cool. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I just feel like they should retire Wilder. Chisora obviously retired, but it was a cool fight. I didn't have too many issues with it. It was lacking the technical stuff that I like, but they're heavyweights. You can kind of like, even though there's heavyweights that are technical, you can kind of like give a pass to a heavyweight, not being as technical as you would like. You could probably like give a pass because of because they're heavyweights. But I thought it was an entertaining fight. It was a good watch. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I didn't have a problem with it. It was cool. It was cool. Shout out to Wilder. Shout out to Chisora. It was cool. I didn't have a problem with it. They should retire. Yeah, definitely. I think Nakatami could probably beat in a way. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a great fight. Like I said, I favor it in a way, but if Nakatami were to win, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. It's a great fight. Two great fighters, and they're going to clash. It's going to be a great fight. This could possibly, I know we got Boots and Zayas coming up, but this Inoue and Nakatami fight, this could possibly be a fight of the year. You know, you just never know because these is great fighters. So it's definitely going to be a scrap. Definitely, for sure. What you think of the Conor Ben and Regis Prograis fight? Yeah, I kind of got that wrong because Conor Ben was looking drained and shit, and I was like, he might fuck around and lose. And I thought Regis might be able to land something. I was wrong. He obviously is done. You know, he should have been retired based on what we've seen. Conor Ben looked it straight. It was okay. You know, it was a good performance. But he looked it drained and shit, so I thought that might factor into the fight. But turns out I was wrong about that. So, but nah, Regis Prograis is done. And Conor Ben, it appears, is going to continue, and he might be able to do a little bit more damage or whatever. So Conor Ben is okay. He's an okay fighter. So, yeah. But yeah, I got that one wrong. But shout out to Conor Ben, though. He won a fight he should have won. Yeah, they both good. Yeah, Nakatami anyway, they the truth. They the truth. The Fury fight was boring. Yeah, I kind of expected that. Like, I was like, Fury's probably just going to cruise to a 12-round win. That's what I thought. I didn't think he was going to knock him out or nothing. I thought like he probably just going to cruise control, 12-round win. Like, because in a lot of Tyson Fury fights, a lot of fights he'll start slow, and then he'll kind of like pick it up, and that's kind of what he did. The first 2 rounds he was looking kind of weird, and then he just started picking it up, and next thing you know, he just cruised to a 12-round win. It was a cool little fight. So yeah, that was all right. Yeah, Conor Ben and Ryan Garcia will be good. I think that's the next fight they're trying to make. I believe so. Ryan and Conor. That's a good little. I would watch that fight. I like that fight. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Conor Ben versus Ryan. I don't see nothing wrong with it. I don't see nothing wrong with that fight. Ryan Garcia is a solid fighter. Conor Ben is solid. That should be a cool fight. Good matchup. Good little matchup. You know, I give Ryan Garcia credit. He's not a skillful boxer. He's not elite or nothing, but I like his punching. He's in my opinion, a very good puncher. Like, he can get them shots on you. I like that. And Conor Ben, same thing. Not that skilled, not really elite, but his volume punching is not bad. So these some okay fighters. They solid. And Tank versus Shakur, yeah, that's the dream fight right there. That's the dream fight right there. But is it going to happen? That's the big question mark. But that's the dream fight, Shakur and Tank. It's the dream fight. Will it happen? Shit, who knows? So yeah, pretty much it. But I'm at the end of the workout. I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, that's that. You talking about the Conor Ben or the Shakur and Tank? I'm assuming you talking about the Tank and Shakur. Yeah, that Tank and Shakur, that's a true 50-50 fight. That could go either way. because they both have what it takes to beat the one another. So that's true 50-50. So it's kind of hard to pick a winner in that. So that's 50-50. Yeah, that's a true 50-50 matchup. Shakur and Tank. That could go either way. So yeah, that's a tough one. Definitely a tough one. All right, salute. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, but definitely gonna be back with another episode. I'm gonna get Onslaught on here. We're gonna get down with that again. So we're gonna fuck with that. So yeah, Shakur and Ryan is a good matchup. I wouldn't mind that either. But yeah, the weight thing might stop it from happening. I agree with that. So yeah, all these are good matchups. All these are welcomed. But yeah, I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna holler at y'all at the next video. Y'all stay safe.